For lesson 5 homework, we're just going to practice solving our systems a little bit more. So 2 friends went to a restaurant and ordered 1 plain pizza and 2 sodas. Their bill totaled $15.95. Later that day, 5 friends went to the same restaurant. They ordered 3 plain pizzas and each person had 1 soda. Their total bill was $45.90. Write and solve a system of equations to determine the price of 1 pizza. So the first thing I want to underline is the fact that we are only looking for the cost of a pizza. So we might find a soda, but it's going to be kind of useless to us. This is one of those problems where there are 2 scenarios. There's one group of friends and a second group of friends that both deal with pizzas, sodas, and price. So therefore, each part of this, or each group of friends, gets their own equation. So we're going to use P for the cost of a pizza, and we'll use S for the cost of a soda. So our first friend group had 1 pizza and 2 sodas, and their bill was $15.95. The second group of friends went to the same restaurant, ordered 3 pizzas, and each person had 1 soda. So 3 pizzas, and if there were 5 friends and they each had 1 soda, that's 5S, equals $45.90. Now, if we look at our setup like this, this basically sets us up for elimination. Now, the easiest way would be to eliminate the P for pizzas, because it only has to multiply one of the equations. But since we're looking for that one, it would probably benefit us to eliminate the S's and shorten our work a little bit. So between 2S and 5S, the first thing that they can become is 10. So I'm going to multiply the top by 5 and the bottom by a -2. So that this way, I know that they're going to cancel out. So I distribute the 5. I get 5P plus 10S equals, and I'll plug this into my calculator, 1595 times 5 is going to give us $79.75. When I distribute here on the bottom, I'm going to get -6P minus 10S equals, and then if I do 4590 times -2, I'm going to get -$91.80, which I know doesn't seem to make sense, but the negatives will likely cancel out somewhere along the lines. So I cancel out my S's. I get -P equals, when I do my money together, we get -$12.05. Divide both sides by -1, and I get P equals $12.05. So since they were only asking for the cost of a pizza, we've answered the question. The cost of a pizza was $12.05. So had you not read the question initially and eliminated the P's because it was easier and solved for S, you would just have to make sure that you plugged back in to make sure that you solve for P. Second one, students and adults purchased tickets for a recent basketball playoff game. All tickets were sold at the ticket booth. Season passes, discounts, etc. were not allowed. So student tickets were $5 each, and adult tickets were $10 each, and a total of $4,500 was collected. 700 tickets were sold. So this is one of those where we are going to have an equation about money and an equation about the number of tickets that were sold. So write a system of equations that can be used to find the number of student tickets, S, and adult tickets, A, that were sold. So they told us what letters to use, S and A. So we are $5 for a student ticket plus $10 for an adult ticket equals $4,500. And then what they tell us about the total number of tickets, S plus A equals 700. Assuming that the number of students and adults attending the game would not change, how much more money would they have collected at the playoff game if the student price was kept at 5 and the adults were charged 15 instead of 10? Well, the first thing we have to do is we have to solve our system to find out how many students and adults were actually at the game. So what I need to do is we need to carry down our system here. So we're going to copy it down. So 5S plus 10A equals 4,500. and then S plus A equals 700. So I will start by multiplying the bottom by a -5 to cancel out my S. So then I'm going to end up with 5S plus 10A equals 4,500, and then -5S minus 5A equals -3,500. Cancel out my S's. I get 5A equals 1,000. Divide both sides by 5, and I get that there were 200 adults at the game. So now I'll plug back into that original bottom equation. S plus 200 equals 700. I'll subtract that 200 on both sides, and I'll find out that there were 500 students at the game. So we know that with that combination of numbers, there was $4,500 gained. But what happens if we were to take that original equation, 5S plus, and instead of it becoming $10 per an adult, it became $15 per adult. And they want to know how much more money they would make. Well, if we know there were 500 students and there were 200 adults, we want to plug that into our calculator to find out what we are going to make. So the students would still be $2,500, but then when we plug in 15 instead of 10, that gets us $3,000 for the adults, and that gives us a total of $5,500. So if the price was 15 instead of 10, and the same number of people showed up, they would have made $5,500 instead of $4,500. But that's not the answer to the question. It says, how much more money could have been collected? So when we take 5,500 and we subtract 4,500, we end up with an extra $1,000 more. So the second part of this question is a little bit more involved, but if we just work our way through our systems normally and we make sure we answer the question at the end, it's not so bad.